In this video, we're going to talk about how to take throw-ins and the expectations. So as you can see in this scenario here, as a general rule of thumb, if the player is on the right-hand side of the field, we'll have the right defender take the throw-in, even if that is here in the back third or middle third, or even if that is all the way in the final third up here. And should the player be on the opposite side of the field, in here, then the left defender will take the throw-in from this side. Unless there's a designated throw-in taker on the team, that is the general rule of thumb. So, we want to talk about the basic expectations of throw-ins so we can add more organization. One of the basic expectations is how can we maintain possession of this ball from the throw-in. So, the first goal and objective of taking throw-ins in the team is going to be, can we maintain possession of the ball? The best way to maintain possession of the ball is by performing a bounce pass from the throw-in. So the throw-in taker here, in this case, number 2, he is not going to be marked in the game. Everybody else may be marked. The number 9 may pick up our defender. The number 10 on the opposite team may pick up our midfielder. The left defender on the other team may pick up our wide player, for example. So in here, we're going to need movement from these players to get free and open. So in order to make a bounce pass, it may be the number 6 checking for the throw-in, the number 2 throws the ball to 6, and 6 plays it back immediately in as less touches as he can to the number 2. Now we have the number 2 in possession in the field with ball at feet. That is going to be the primary objective, is can we bounce the ball back to the player taking the throw-in so we can maintain possession. Option number 2 is going to be, can we have movement to throw the ball where we have a teammate running forwards? What we want to avoid is one of our teammates receiving the ball with their back to goal, unless it's going to be a bounce pass back to this player, because immediately this player can be surrounded and we can lose possession. What we also don't want to do, and what happens often, is we take the throw-in and we just launch it down the line in the air, hoping that something's going to happen. So we need to have more movement, calculation, and organization. So for example, we may have a disguised run here from 7. 7 may check in to number 2. Number 3 follows him. And he may just put his thumb up towards his chest, our number 7, and that's going to indicate the person making the throw, and he doesn't want the bounce pass, he wants it in the space. Then he can spin and make the run and attack face forwards and have the ball to feet. That's just one way we could disguise that run. Another way we can disguise that run could be the number 7 may just get down and pretend to tie his shoelace. And when he does that, that's a cue for the person taking the throw-in for a throw-in in behind. And then he will quickly jump up and sprint into the space. Then another option, and the third option we want to see from a throw-in, is when we make the bounce pass, or if we can play the ball into feet, is can we attempt to try take the ball from one side into a switch of play. So for example, we may play the ball from the number 2 and it may bounce back into the 2, and the number 2 may make a switch all the way to the other side to the open player. Or it may be the ball bounces, plays it in, and this player, rather than bouncing it back, is open and free. The defender is not marking him. He may be able to turn and play the switch pass into the opposite side of the field. Or he may have to knock the ball back to the defender, then the defender may make the pass to the opposite side of the field. The primary goal always being when making throw-ins is, can we maintain possession of the ball? And if we are going to throw the ball in the air, can it be with organization, with calculated disguised movements? All these players should be moving to get free. We're not stood still. We're constantly moving, trying to lose our man to get free to either play a bounce pass or to get on the ball and switch the ball or receive the ball running forwards in behind the other team.